Hi, this is Empire of the Mind. I'm Dr. Bruce Gilley.
Majority of Indians hate Africans. Majority of Indians are racist. The white minority which took our land by force. You must say enough is enough. We are taking the future into our own hands.
The story of post-colonial collapse is usually about the breakdown of the rule of law, civic order, and democratic equality as social justice warriors pursue demands for special rights and privileges. South Africa, which was a British colony until 1934, and then an independent country with official segregation until 1994, was once thought to be a model for successful decolonization. But social justice warriors die hard in the African bush, and in South Africa, recent looting and attacks on white farmers, stirred up by the so-called economic freedom fighters who promote social justice via race baiting, has reminded us of the country's stagnation since 1994. Living standards in South Africa have barely risen above 1994 levels, a stagnation rivaled only by Brazil, with its own social justice warrior menace, while India, which finally buried its post-colonial social justice warrior tradition around the same time, has thrived. The South Africa story is dramatic and tragic, but really just a reflection of what happens when you decolonize a liberal and democratic system. In the West, many want to replace our liberal democratic systems with a new segregation, in which coercive force is used to extract benefits and to threaten the unwoke. Recently, I caught up with the British legal scholar Wanjiru Njoya, a native of Kenya whose family was saved from the social justice warriors of the Mau Mau insurgency in that country by British colonialism.
People would look at South Africa and they would say, "We told you so." Is South Africa vindicating the sort of clash of civilizations or the argument that civilization is not for everyone?
I think South Africa is showing what we talked about at the beginning of our conversation about people who think if I have the right way, then the use of force is legitimate. I think that's the problem when people say we don't like. So going back to South African history, saying we don't like the apartheid regime being racist, segregating us on grounds of race and using force against us. Oh, but now look, we're in power and we're the good people, so we can segregate everyone according to race and use violence against them, doing exactly what they were supposedly fighting against all this time, and thinking that that's fine because they're doing it for good reasons. It was very wrong of them to do that because, they shouldn't have done that. But it's okay for us now to take up machetes and hack them down and get them out. It's a complete double standards. And I think as long as there's a lack of reason and of principled reason, this is exactly what you end up with.
They were the second evil imperialists to arrive in Southern Africa. The Bantu were the first. And the whole point, I thought, was let's find a different way of organizing the way humans interact, because clearly this is not going to be a good way of going about this in the future.
You know what the irony is? When you said earlier that a lot of people will be saying, "I told you so." To me, the greatest irony is that all the countries which imposed sanctions on South Africa, saying, "Oh, you evil people, how dare you track everything according to race, and how dare you segregate people according to race, and we're going to impose sanctions on you." And now they're doing the exact same thing. I just wonder what they must think, all those people on whom sanctions were imposed, to see exactly the same reasoning being rolled out now in Western countries, saying in order to compensate for past oppression, we are now going to start segregating so that we can favor certain people. If it's wrong to segregate, surely it must always be wrong.